to the gurus. I cannot speak anything properly without the guidance, mercy, and blessings of the gurus, both Shiksha and Diksha gurus who have reached me in my life. So we will honor them with these prayers, glorifying how they take us out of the darkness of ignorance and put us in the light of knowledge, and how in this light of knowledge all avenues are open up unto us. So we need to respect our gurus in our life, find gurus in our life. If you don't have any gurus, get a guru, at least one guru, and this is essential for spiritual progress. You must take guidance from someone. If you want something, like if you want spiritual bliss, you must take guidance from one who has spiritual bliss, like this. So Lalita, I'm going to ask that you scroll down here, and then everyone chant along these prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Tasmai Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Namaha Bhutale Swayam Bhagavadaya Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttaraparakam Shri Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagaratam Sagaratam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Sarvaitam Haritam Sanitam Krishna Chaitam Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagananita Shri Vishya Pankaitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanjana Gauram Virade Davaneshwari Vishwavanti Pranamami Vanchakalpas Guruyascha Deva Sindhuge Gacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Krishna Hare Shrimati Bhakti Bhakti Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurmani Pracharine So, first of all, I offer my obeisances to my Diksha Guru, Spiritual Rishi Maharaj, for giving me spiritual life and maintaining my spiritual life to this day. I offer my obeisances to the many prominent Shiksha Gurus who have entered my life these past few years. One of them will be sharing some excerpts from his book. And I want to offer my obeisances unto all the exalted Vaishnavas, past, present, and future. And you're all included in that. So my obeisances unto you all. Vanchakalpatarishya kripa sindhubhyo Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So we shall have some book over here. And the book is missing. There it is. Wisdom Tales. So this is actually a book from Srila Prabhupada, our dear Srila Prabhupada's guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And he is giving concise teachings from the Srimad Bhagavatam and other different Puranic stories. And actually, it's our good fortune that Sri Prem Prayojan Prabhu, he's actually translated it, put it into English, and then also wrote a short commentary at the end. very nice. Vedic Wisdom Tales is the book. But one of the stories we're going to talk about is the story of Bali Maharaj, who is the great devotee of Vamandev, and he is one of the main characters in this pastime. He is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, who is on our altar. Who, so I was talking to Keshava Gopal. I don't know if you know, Ben, but you're implicated in being requested to paint Prahlad Maharaj.
I am. I just don't know if I'm going to have time, but we'll see what happens.
Yes. It would be very nice if you can paint Prahlad. But Prahlad is a great devotee, and we know him. We sang the Nrsimha Bhajan. And now there's this movie that just came out, Mahavatar Nrsimha.
Yeah.
You heard of this movie? So it's a very big hit. Oh, Lolita will take that now.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So it's a very big hit in India right now, but it's also a big hit in the USA. So we're going to read some excerpts from this because it's just a summary of the pastime in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can get it quicker than if we read directly from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So tomorrow on Shravan Dwadashi, also on the tomorrow, some other personalities also appeared. Srila Jiva Goswami, who is the great philosopher amongst all of the six Goswamis. He was the only Diksha disciple of Rupa Goswami, and he was he was the direct relative of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, who were associates of Lord Chaitanya, and he even had association with Lord Chaitanya as a very small boy. So he also appeared tomorrow. Actually, believe it or not, I actually also appeared on tomorrow. Tomorrow is my Vedic birthday. So I appeared with Vamandev and Jiva Goswami when I came to this world in this body. It's my Vedic birthday tomorrow. So this is an especially dear pastime for me. There's a lot to, in my astrology and in my life, this pastime is especially meaningful. And the themes the themes are meaningful for everyone. Actually, just like the moon has its phases. You go from a new moon to a sliver of a moon, and it slowly becomes a full moon over the month. And then the full moon is the full manifestation of the moon, and then it goes back. So similarly, when Krishna appears in this world, he comes in different incarnations that slowly shed light on certain themes and qualities about Krishna that eventually are complete fully in Sri Krishna. But before Sri Krishna can come as the full moon, we have to also we have to take the other phases of the moon. Why? Because there's many lessons and there's many wonderful qualities that we are to appreciate before we can fully appreciate Sri Krishna. So when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, we systematically go through every single phase of the moon necessary to appreciate Sri Krishna. So that's why we hear from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Madhav, just move over because Mridyul, right? Yes, Mridyul. I want to be able to see Mridyul. And Shivadas, give me a little bit that way, just so I can see. Yeah, just so I can see Tej. Perfect, right there. So, and one more time, Mother, in the back. Rayman. Okay, Rayman, Mridyul, and then everyone else I know. So okay. So we're going to read about Maharaj Bali. Maharaj Bali, he was, do you know who he was the arch enemy of? He's a great devotee, but also he would always get in conflict with another great devotee. Actually, but Maharaj Bali is a greater devotee than the other devotee. Do you know who? So he's the grandson of Prahlad. Prahlad was born in the Daitya dynasty. The Daityas, which are known as the great demons of old. They're the Prahlad appeared in the family of demons in Hiranyakashipu's family, and Bali is his descendant. But you know the demons, they're not so refined with all the Vedic things. They're very powerful, but they just want what they want and they take what they want, and they don't give much. They don't give much effort to following all the rules and regulations in the Vedas. They don't care much. now all across the world, most leaders and all of us, Western buddies, are usually born in some type of Daitya race, or more on that side of things, not following the prescriptions, and unrefined. But devotees can also appear in these races. Like we have one of the great devotees, Prahlad Maharaj, appeared in this race, and then also Bali Maharaj. So Bali, he actually, due to Indra making an offense to his guru, which is, many lessons are in the Bhagavatam. One thing you should not do is make an offense to one's guru. We're going to learn about actually also Bali. He's going to be called to make an offense to one's guru, but actually he makes the right offense to one's guru. We'll talk about that. How to make a proper offense to one's guru if it comes to that. There may come a time where it is proper to even offend one's guru. But Indra did improperly offended one's guru. He didn't receive him properly when he came one time, and he was so intoxicated by his own power and position that he neglected him. And then he left him, and this led to a whole big debacle and turmoil that allowed for Bali and the Daityas to rise up above Indra. So they were very strong, they're always fighting, but Bali had done all kinds of yagyas because he properly respected his guru, who was Shukracharya. And Shukracharya, he's actually a great personality. It's saying in the Bhagavad Gita, of all thinkers, Shukracharya is topmost. Of all people who can think, who use good discrimination of intelligence, Krishna says, I am he. And he's referring to Shukracharya. He's actually a very great personality. But he actually also, because of, he also can get entangled in the material world, because he's not a fully perfected being. And he gives Bali some bad advice at this period. And we'll learn about that. But Bali, actually, by pleasing Shukracharya, he got this great, doing some wonderful yagyas, he got this great and powerful chariot, great and powerful weapons, and he was able to defeat Indra and actually take over the ruling of the universe. Upend Indra, the king of heaven, and then Bali is now the ruler. So Bali is actually ruling over the universe at this point. So Indra is not very happy about this. And so devotees, they see things, depending on one's level, a devotee will, act in a certain way. If one devotee gets a reversal materially, they'll accept. An advanced devotee, they'll accept this is the Lord's thing for me. But another type of devotee, not as advanced devotee, they'll be very concerned with preserving their material opulence. And they'll pray to the Lord for material things. Indra is that type of devotee. He prays for material things. He says, Lord, I will worship all as perfect as I need to, but please give me this. This is the business of my worship. I'm worshiping you because I want X, Y, and Z. I want the heavenly kingdom. I want my position. I want all my glory and worship. I want all my proper situation. We have to be very careful not to worship like Indra. We may also, I also want the blessings of Krishna. I want good health. I want good wealth. I want good partnership, relationship. I want good children. I want good education. I want all things related to me to be in prosperity. But actually, this is not the advanced devotional stage. This is the beginning level devotional stage. So Bali Maharaj is actually going to prove he is a higher devotee than Indra. And it's exhibited in this pastime. So, Indra approaches Aditi, and he's very upset. Mother, I've lost our position, we're in great fear. Bali Maharaj, we cannot beat him, he's unstoppable. He's, through the blessings of Shukracharya, is defeating everyone and everything. We cannot stop him. Please, by some austerity, please approach Lord Vishnu, and we must have some relief here. The demigods are always favored by Lord Vishnu. If we pray to him, he'll certainly help. So, if it's good if Richa, come, yes, very good, nice to see you. It's very good if we fall into trouble to pray to Vishnu, pray to the Supreme Lord, but ultimately we should want the act of devotion to Vishnu is enough. We actually don't need all the material things. There's nothing higher than actually devotion to the Supreme Lord, bhakti. But, praying when in trouble is no problem. It's good actually. But the fruit is bhakti, not the material thing. Like, oh Lord, I've lost my money. Oh Lord, I've lost my health. Oh Lord, I've lost my relationship. Oh Lord, I've lost my position. Whatever it may be, you can pray to the Lord to relieve you. But it's not that He gives you that thing back that you want. That's not the real. That's not the real juice. That's not the real wonderful thing. The real wonderful thing is that the Supreme Lord, that you are now actively approaching the Lord in worship. So every day we're here worshiping, and we're actually asking many people in the town, please come worship with us, come worship. And they're, oh Prabhuji, we have no time. I have more important things to do. Don't you know I'm a student? Oh Prabhuji, don't you know I have this, and this and things. And I'm just thinking myself, oh, they don't know. They don't know. What don't they know? That the real gift of life is coming and worshiping the Lord. The real gift in life isn't this other thing you're worried about. Yes, you have to maintain your body. And you may have to do many things. But the real gift in life is worship of the Lord. So this will also be shown here. When everything, Bali Maharaj is going to exemplify a process of bhakti, a very advanced process of bhakti called Atma Nivedana. Atma Nivedana means complete surrender of the self. Everything, every other thing in this world, he will surrender in this pastime. And we are actually all called to be like Bali Maharaj. Especially me, I'm born on this day that this happened. I'm very much called to exemplify and live by this principle. So, if you don't know, Richa, tomorrow is the Vaman Dwadashi pastime that we're talking about, and I happen to be born on this pastime. So it's a very important pastime for me. So actually every year I get the good fortune of telling this pastime. I'll let no one else tell because it's very important for me.
Happy birthday, Ron.
Yes, thank you. My solar birthday is next Monday, but my Vedic birthday is tomorrow. So I actually, please worship, not worship, don't worship me. Please, please worship Vamandev on my birthday. But please wish me a happy birthday on my Vedic birthday.
I'll also worship you.
Yes, please, if you worship me, you'll go to hell. Like Bali Maharaj. So, but maybe I can be as fortunate as Bali Maharaj and go to hell in such a glorious way. So, I'm telling this pastime now. I'm just going to do a lot of reading because it gets to the point very quickly. So Vamandev, he decided he would take birth in Kashyapa and Aditi's family to give relief to Indra. So when he came in the presence of Kashyapa and Aditi, the Lord assumed the form of Vaman, a dwarf Brahmin. He's beautiful. Dwarf. Dwarf is like a very small little person. A very small little person. An unassuming personality. Well, if you saw a dwarf, maybe it's inappropriate to say in pop culture, but what would be known as like a midget or in this way. It's like a very small, tiny person. So Vaman appeared actually like that. He appeared fully formed tomorrow, I think at noon. And so the great sages performed his birthday ceremony, his Jata Karma Samskara, and all the great demigods also came and gave him all kinds of articles. They worshipped him and gave him all his sacred ceremony. His sacred thread ceremony was commenced. Suryadev, the sun god, and presiding deity, the Gayatri Mantra, personally imparted knowledge of Gayatri to him, so he gave him the Gayatri Mantra, the sun god. The Guru of the demigods, Brahaspati, provided the sacred thread to him. Kashyapa offered a straw belt, Mother Earth a deer skin, Chandra the moon a staff, Mother Aditi a kopin, a cloth for his underwear. The deity presiding the heavenly kingdom offered him an umbrella. Lord Brahma offered a water pot, and the 7 sages offered him kusha grass. Goddess Saraswati gave him a rosary of Rudraksha beads, and Goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva, offered him alms. So all the demigods, great demigods, they came and worshipped Vamandev upon his appearance and gave him all the articles of his form. He was a little dwarf Brahmin boy, so all the Brahmin type of wear that a Brahmin has, they were all given by the demigods. This is very nice. So King Bali, one of the ways that Bali was successful is he was always practicing the Yuga Dharma. Do you know the Yuga Dharma that Bali Maharaj was practicing? It's very important in every age. Yes. So this is it's very important in every age that the intelligentsia of the age, they practice the Yuga Dharma. So we'll...
Does that mean he was giving too much?
No.
Okay.
He gave perfectly.
Okay.
Everything. So that's the perfect amount to give. So, but Bali Maharaj was always practicing the Yuga Dharma. In his age, at this time, it was the early parts of Treta Yuga, he was doing yagya, sacrifice. So, homas, great fire yagyas, and he'd offer so many things in the homa. But, in our age, that's not the Yuga Dharma. Does anyone know what the Yuga Dharma is in Kali Yuga?
Harinam Sankirtan.
Harinam Sankirtan. The intelligentsia in this age, instead of doing yagya or even archana, which was the Dwapar Yuga Dharma, will always be engaged in Harinam Sankirtan. Sankirtan is group glorification of the Lord. The easiest way is chanting the Lord's names. In this Kali Yuga, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the Brahmataraka Nam. This is the highest mantra in this age that everyone can take. If everyone takes this mantra, you'll always be perfectly situated. But in previous yugas, the Brahmataraka Nam, the main mantra, and then also the different activities were different. So Bali Maharaj was perfectly situated. He was always doing his yagyas. And he was doing the yagyas nicely. We're perfectly situated when we're always coming, worshipping the Lord, and chanting the Lord's name. Even from home, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. You know, it doesn't also matter, you know, Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopala Radhe Govinda Damodara Madhavedi Govinda Damodara. Always glorifying the names of the Lord, no matter what. This is the Yuga Dharma. You should always do. Everywhere you go, everywhere, everything that you do, at work, at school, no matter what you're doing, glorifying the Lord. This is the Yuga Dharma, via calling His names. Singing songs for the Lord daily like we just did in our Arti ceremony and so on. The main activity isn't the Arti actually. The main activity is you all singing the names of the Lord because this is the Yuga Dharma. The Arti is like a nice accessory to the Yuga Dharma. So like this. But Bali Maharaj was perfectly situated. He's doing his yagyas on the northern bank of the Narmada called Brigu Kacha. There was a grand ceremony from the Brahmanas of the Brigu lineage. And all of a sudden, Lord Vamana appeared there. And Lord Vaman is just so beautiful. You know, he's this sweet little dwarf Brahmin boy, but he is just so enchanting. He's Vishnu, he's God. He's so beautiful. And so everyone is standing up. Oh my gosh, what a personality has arrived. Who are you? And so Bali Maharaj is so enchanted by him. And Bali Maharaj, he is known of a very great quality. For anyone who is a ruler, a great king, or someone who commands a lot of wealth, a great quality is to always care for the Brahmins. He's always caring for the Brahmins. And whatever the Brahmins need, he will give. Not only that, he'll give 10 times more. This is Bali Maharaj. So Bali Maharaj was very eager. Oh, this Brahmin has come. Let me give him as much pleasure as I can. But actually very interesting. This Vaman incarnation is showing how the Lord will cheat you. And it's glorious. If the Lord cheats you, it's glorious. And even the cheating of the Lord, the cheating of us is abominable. When we cheat others, it's an abominable thing actually. If we cheat someone, it's a horrible thing actually. We do it for selfish reasons and we don't have better sense. We can't see that we're going to get a negative reaction. But when the Lord cheats us, it's wonderful. It's a very, very wonderful, wonderful thing. So Vaman is actually the great cheating of the Lord. And maybe, who knows, maybe I was born because I'm also supposed to cheat people for the Lord. I don't know. But not cheat, actually the devotee is called to cheat others. But the devotee does not cheat others out of material things, money, this, that, and the other. The devotee is supposed to cheat others out of their material life and give them devotion to the Lord instead. That's actually what the devotee cheats others. So we say, yes, come here, eat the prasad, it's so nice. Here, yes, you'll get all your material blessings. It's true, you will. But actually, you're going to be cheated too because you'll no longer desire material blessings. After worshipping the Lord for enough time, you'll no longer desire the material things because you'll become better situated, you'll become more intelligent, and you'll receive the gift of devotion to the Lord, and you'll never be able to enjoy other things again because devotion is so high, all the other things. I'm Italian. Shivadas is from Italy. Italians are known for having really, really nice pasta sauce. Nice pasta sauce. Right, Shivadas?
Put that on a prasad.
Yeah, we should have some nice, Madhav should do more with some gravy. But Madhav, I don't know how Italian Madhav is, so maybe I'll have to cook it or something. But I don't even eat tomatoes. So anyhow, my mother never let me growing up, never let me have the store-bought pasta sauces. Never let me have like the canned pasta sauces, ragu, spaghettios, all these things. I was not allowed. I was banned. My mother's reasoning, we have the better stuff at home. We make it fresh. We're Italian. This is an insult to our ancestry to eat this garbage. Right? You know, like even the young Indians, they go and they get all the packaged stuff. But some Mataji from India, she'll not get some pre-made rotis. There's this pre-made roti. I'll roll it myself. And we'll make it fresh. Right? Yeah. None of your mothers at home are say, yes, get the pre-made rotis. No, only the college students will eat pre-made rotis. Right? So similarly, what happens is when you taste something so good, and then the other things are just no good anymore. When you taste devotion to the Lord, if you go try to enjoy wealth, you go try to enjoy sex life, you go to try to enjoy all the things of the world, it'll have no taste anymore. And this is how the Lord will cheat you. By giving you devotion, actually, you'll say, yes, Lord, I'm coming to you because I want this material thing. And then when you get the material thing, you won't like it anymore because it's not as good as devotion. He'll cheat you. He'll give you the real good pasta sauce, so you'll no longer like spaghettios anymore. So this is actually the great gift that the Lord is giving. So, we'll see this. So beautiful Brahmin, Vaman, he appears before Bali, and Bali's like, yes, I have to give this Brahmin what he wants. So, and then actually the Lord is teaching us so many wonderful things. He's glorifying him. Your arrival is most auspicious. I bow down to you. Please command me. How may I serve you? Your presence in my abode has satisfied my forefathers. My dynasty has become sanctified today. You hold a begging bowl in your hand, so it seems that you desire something. You can ask me for whatever you desire. Bali is very eager. Please give me whatever you desire. Let me give you whatever you desire. But Bali is actually quite foolish, because he's thinking he can give something to Vaman, that it's not already Vaman's. He doesn't realize this is Vishnu, this is the Supreme Lord. And this can be us too. We think we can get so many things in this world. Oh, I have so much money. I have this opulence. I have this opulence. Oh, look at how much charity I can give. Look what I can do with my wealth. What is really ours, actually? Nothing. It's only ours only by the Lord's grace. So Bali, the Lord has come to teach Bali this. Bali holds the whole universe, but nothing is actually Bali's. And he's going to show Bali this. He's going to remind Bali of this. So upon hearing Bali's words, Lord Vaman replied, O king, your words befit the traditions of your lineage, enhancing your fame. These words are sweet and filled with the spirit of righteous conduct. And why not? After all, you hold Shukracharya, the son of Brigu, in high esteem as the supreme authority in matters of religious principle or dharma, which bestow benefit in the next world. At the same time, you also respect the orders of the esteemed head of your family, your grandfather, the supremely serene Prahlad Maharaj. In your lineage, there has never been an impatient or miserly person. Never has there been anyone who has not given alms to a Brahmin, or who has reneged on a promise to give. O king, your father Virochan, the son of Prahlad, was very devoted to the Brahmins. So Lord's glorifying Bali Maharaj's lineage and their qualities of always giving to the Brahmins and never going back on their promise. Because sometimes we might say, yes, I may give something, and then some circumstance happens in our life. Oh no, I can't give anymore. Sorry about that. This is actually happening now. Do you see this important thing? Instead, but actually, this isn't a dharmic principle. A dharmic principle is if you say you'll do something, I'll always do that thing. That's the dharmic principle. And Bali actually was like that. Bali had that good quality, and the Lord is glorifying that quality. We don't have that quality. We say, yes, I will do this, but then tomorrow something happens, and no, never mind, I can't do that anymore. I'm not the only one that's happened to. So we actually should learn to always, if we say we do something, we do our utmost to always fulfill our word. Be people of our word. So that's one. These are, the teachings keep progressing. They're so deep in this pastime. So many wonderful deep teachings. So he was so dedicated that despite knowing about the deceit of his rivals, the demigods, he even offered the alms of his lifespan upon their request. You have, he was talking about Virochin, his father, who offered his own life at the request of the demigods to follow his word. This is a very, very high level thing. So you have taken birth in that dynasty. Among charitable persons, you are the greatest. Therefore, I request from you only 3 steps of land, measured by my own paces. And remember, Vaman is a very tiny person. 3 paces of land. This little bit of land, that's all you want? So Bali is, naturally, he's very disappointed actually. He's very disappointed by this. I understand you're the ruler of the whole world and you are very generous. Still, I don't want more than this. Learned men should only accept alms in proportion to their needs. This is also very important. We should only accept that which is needed and no more. It's a lot of times we can, get very intoxicated with building wealth and gaining wealth and all these things. But actually, what does a devotee only needs as much wealth to keep body, soul, and their main projects together. That's it. Just their basic sustenance. We don't need any more, any less. Learned men should only accept alms in proportion to their needs. By this they are saved from the sin of over-accepting charity. You can over-accept charity as well. This is very important for us here at the temple because we only need a certain amount to actually function the temple. And then after that, we won't need any more. So, it's very important for us to also not get intoxicated. Oh yes, now we need more money for this thing and this thing and this thing. Only what is needed. That's all that's actually what should be done. So, hearing this request for only 3 paces of land, Bali Maharaj repeatedly petitioned Vaman, Bhagavan, ask for more land and resources. However, Lord Vaman replied, O king, all the desirable sense objects in the whole world cannot satisfy the desires of even one person if he is not content to control his senses. Now Vaman is tricking him, but in tricking him, he's actually teaching us some very important things. That if you can't be satisfied with little, you'll never be satisfied. If you can't be satisfied with the basic necessities of life, you'll never, ever, ever, ever be satisfied. Why? Because the chase for wealth is intoxicating, and look at the billionaires. They're trying to become trillionaires now. Apparently in a few months, Elon Musk will become a trillionaire. How much do you need to be satisfied? Guess what? He'll never be satisfied. It's impossible. It's impossible to be satisfied. If you can't be satisfied with a little, you'll never be satisfied with a lot. Actually, the happiest people in the world, it's interesting. They did a documentary on Netflix called Happy. And they studied who are the happiest people in the world. And do you know what they all have in common, the happiest people in the world of the study?
They're contented.
They're contented, but why? Do you know what they have? Do you know what income bracket do you think the happiest people in the world have? What do you think? Upper class, middle class, lower middle class, poverty?
Maybe too
Lower middle
rich.
class.
What?
Lower middle class.
Lower middle class. It's those who just have enough to have their basic necessities and no more. Those people, they're the happiest people in the world. Not the people who have wealth. You think, oh, wealth means happiness. No, lower middle class. They're the happiest people. Why? They have their necessities. And Vaman is teaching this. This is Vedic. If you're not content with your basic necessities, you'll never ever be content. Because it's not the nature of the psyche. The psyche that's intoxicated with this material world always wants more and more and more and more. And it will never end. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this lust will burn like fire. And just like a fire in a forest, it catches a little more and more and more, and it needs to consume more and more and more. That's like us. We get a little wealth and we'll need more and more and more. You should always have just your basic necessities. This is actually the principle. Whatever is needed, that's what you need. I'm seeing in my life. I have a family now. I have a wife. My need for wealth has actually increased in my life. But still, if I get intoxicated by it, and I say, next thing I know, I need 10 properties and this thing and that thing and the other thing, I will lose my whole devotional wealth. The real wealth I'll lose. So this is the real wealth, is devotional wealth. Not what you can get. So Vaman is teaching this thing. If he's not content to control his senses, the whole world cannot satisfy such a person. If a person is not content with just 3 steps of land, then he cannot be satisfied with one whole island, a dweep, consisting of 9 regions, varshas, because the desire to possess all the 7 islands will continue to linger in his mind. And he's giving historical episodes. I have heard that kings such as Prithu and Gaya achieved sovereignty over the 7 islands. However, even upon obtaining such wealth and material pleasures, they could not find the end of their thirst for more. Or Elon Musk, becoming a multi-billionaire, now he needs to be a trillionaire. It'll never satisfy him. And then he'll have to be a quadrillionaire. It's an endless chase. So stop it. At wherever you are, your body and soul is together, all your basic needs are taken care of. Maybe your dependents who are relying on you to care for their basic needs are taken care of. End there. Don't chase anymore. If you can't be happy then, you'll never be happy. Yes, Richa.
Prabhu, you're saying that he is chasing money, but what I heard from his interview, Elon Musk, that he is chasing a dream. It's not about money for him. He doesn't even goes to bed like the comfortable bed we go to. He just sleep in the office because he is chasing a dream. He is not chasing the money. That's what he says. I'm not sure.
Well, whatever his dream is, whether his dream is to have the most money in the world, that looks like he's doing that. But that's not the main. The main essence is that the chase for wealth would never satisfy anyone, and it's obvious that for whatever reason he still has more dreams to chase, and it's not enough having more money than anyone else in the world. He still has some other dream, and his dreams will never be satisfied. No dreams can ever be satisfied unless you learn how to be content with the bare necessities. So this is Vedic. We follow the Vedas here. And so what Elon Musk does isn't really our business. I'm just using an example just so you guys can understand. But really, we see Vaman is giving this core teaching. So a person who remains content with whatever he receives according to his destiny, his prarabdha, leads a life of contentment. So this is a completely different paradigm shift. Whatever is there, whatever Krishna makes easily available to us, that's our prarabdha karma. We accept that, no problem. But one who cannot control his senses remains unhappy, even after gaining control over the 3 worlds, because the flames of dissatisfaction continue to blaze within his heart. That might mean, I need one wife and some children with her. I'm picking on Elon Musk. But then another wife. And then I need one more wife. And he's got like 13, 14 wives. It'll never be enough. It'll just keep growing. Whatever his dream is. Whatever is going on. I don't know. But whatever it is, it will not stop. Because, yes, it is a nightmare. I couldn't imagine having one kid and one wife and managing this thing and just a little bit of money and finances to balance this. But imagine all of this to worry about. Oh my God. They say more money equals what?
More problems.
They say. Even the Western people say more money is more problems. And the Westerners, they chase money like anything. That's their God is money. The Western God is money. That's okay. The God is money. Jesus says in the Bible, one will serve one of 2 masters. You'll either serve God or you'll serve mammon. Mammon is wealth. And you'll love one and despise the other. And this is true. If you love money, you don't like God that much. If you love God, then you don't care for money so much. And we're trying to teach people, love God. Don't chase money. Money can be used in God's service. We don't say get rid of money. But we say use money for God's service and that's it. But if you love money, you don't yet love God. But the real gift of life is love for God. That's Bhakti Yoga. That's what Jesus is teaching too. This is the main essence. So, Vaman is showing this. Oh, he's tricking Bali because he's going to take everything. Because Vaman is the God of gods. He's going to expand his footsteps so that each step of land he takes will consume the whole universe. But he's also teaching a very valuable lesson. Then, you need so little to be happy. I only need 3 spaces of land. So like this. Discontent, even after gaining control over the 3 worlds, because the flames of dissatisfaction continue to blaze within his heart. Discontent with one's wealth and pleasures causes the soul to continue in the cycle of birth and death. Or, for your analogy, Richa, to keep chasing dreams in this material world, like Elon Musk. Hopefully Elon Musk is getting purified by me criticizing him. And hopefully I don't take too much of these qualities I'm criticizing. But like this, Bali Maharaj responded to Lord Vaman, "That is all well and good. Take only as much as you desire." And with a smile, he picked up a water pot to finalize the vow. The Sankalpa, this is how you finish it. And to give the 3 steps of land. Shukracharya knew everything. This divine pastime of Bhagavan was not hidden from him either. So Shukracharya, he knew what was going on, and he's Bali's guru. But Shukracharya actually, he made one fatal mistake. He was too materially intelligent for his own good. Because he realized, this is going to cause a huge loss of wealth. And he's going to give some basic dharma, which is good in every other circumstance, but it's bad dharma in this circumstance. So he says, seeing King Bali ready to give away the earth, Shukracharya cautioned him, "Son of Virochan, this is none other than the eternal Lord Vishnu himself. He has come here to accomplish the mission of the demigods. Without realizing it, you have pledged to give alms to that very person who is here to take everything away from you. The Supreme Lord himself, by his internal potency, has appeared as a Brahmin boy and is seated here. Your kingdom, opulence, fortune, influence, and fame, everything will be snatched away from you and given to Indra. He is the universal form. He will encompass the 3 worlds within his 3 steps. Fool! When you give away everything to Lord Vishnu, how will you sustain your livelihood?" So what is Shukracharya's considerations here? One's livelihood. How will you live nicely? How will you enjoy life? He's going to take everything away from you. Not realizing the real joy of life is giving everything to Vishnu. That was his one miscalculation. He's so expert. He's of all thinkers. Krishna says he's he. He's the greatest of thinkers. But his thinking has only reached to the platform of how to enjoy materially. Actually, in my astrological chart, I have one personality that I've offended in this life, and it's Shukracharya. So my Venus is debilitated. And actually, he also rules over my whole life path, my Lagna. So it's actually, I have like an amazing astrology. I have an amazing astrology except that. So my whole astrology is I'll never enjoy materially. It's just for whatever reason. Even I may have so much wealth and all these things, I'll never be able to enjoy materially. And I see now how the Lord has done this in my life by making me a devotee. By making me a devotee, even if I have wealth, even if I have a wife, even if I have a beautiful child and I have all these things, because they'll all kind of get in the way of my devotional life, I'll never be satisfied doing any of them. And I see. This is my astrology has predicted this actually. I'll never enjoy wealth in this world. So it's just my destiny. And also interesting, I'm born on this day, where also, you don't get to enjoy wealth either. But so whatever reason I've offended Shukra, so he's withholding enjoyment from me, the luxuries of life. But he says, wise men do not praise the charity after which nothing is left to maintain one's life. In this world, charity, sacrifice, and austerity are for one whose life maintenance is properly arranged. A dutiful householder who is fixed in his responsibilities cannot bear to see his family suffering from hunger or wandering about with a begging bowl. If you are worried about breaking your promise, let me share the purport of the statements from the Rig Veda on this subject. So he's telling him that all of these qualities of that you're doing of giving and charity and all these things, these are for people who are established. These are people who have all their basic needs taken care of. But if your basic needs aren't taken care of, you're not obligated to do these things. He's right, with the exception of one thing. Devotion to Vishnu. When the Lord is calling for you to do something, you have to step up and do it. Even when the devotees of the Lord, they're calling for you to do something, you should step up and do it. This is actually proper. But, we make so many other considerations. No, well, this isn't in check, and this isn't in check, and this isn't in check. So, Shukracharya, he's the expert on this. No, your maintenance won't be here. I'm your guru. And you may have a guru who also is, they have many, many things right, and they lead you in the good ways in so many ways, but they may ask you to go against devotion to God. And in that time, you reject guru. In that time, you reject. That's the only. And you'll see Bali will reject guru, and he'll be perfected in his rejection of Guru. There's no other time that rejecting of Guru is proper, but this is proper. So let's see. The scriptures state that honoring a promise to give in charity is truth, and not honoring a promise is untruth. This body is like a tree, and truth is its fruit and flowers. But if the tree itself does not remain, how can its fruit and flowers exist? In this world, truth cannot even exist without a little falsehood. Life cannot be maintained if one uproots and casts away falsehood entirely. Therefore, when falsehood is eradicated, this body like a tree also withers away. So he's saying that if you don't have a body to perform these things, how can you live in truth? These things only come when your body is properly maintained. And he's right in every circumstance except this one circumstance. So we'll see what happens. The guidebooks on ethics, the Niti Shastras, mention that in flattering a woman, in joking, in praising the bride and others during a marriage ceremony, in protecting one's livelihood in a life-threatening situation, for the welfare of cows and Brahmins, or in saving someone from death, speaking untruth is not so much condemned. So actually in these activities, like for instance they say we know this, if you go to a wedding, you always tell the bride how beautiful they look. Even if they don't look beautiful, it's you must tell them they look beautiful. This is proper, actually. Unless it was somehow to compromise against devotion to Vishnu. But otherwise, I can't think of too many circumstances. You always tell the bride how wonderful, or the husband how wonderful the bride is looking, and so on like this. So, but he's saying that there's proper times where falsehood is appropriate. If you're going to save someone's life, if someone's chasing someone and say, which way did he go? And you want to save someone's life, oh, he went that way. He might have went that way. But it's actually good that you do that. Unless it was Vishnu coming. Say, hey, which way did he go? And if you lied to Vishnu, then it's not good. But anyway, when the revered family guru, the great moralist Shukracharya, was trying to persuade him not to serve Sri Vishnu, Maharaj Bali remained silent for a moment and then with great humility and caution said to Shukracharya, Lord, your words are true and righteous for those living in household life. In that way of life there should be no hindrance to acquiring wealth, sense gratification, fame, and sustenance. But Gurudev, I am the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, and I have already committed to giving alms. Now how can I deceitfully refuse this Brahmin out of a greed for wealth and say, I will not give you alms? Although one's life is most dear and difficult to give up, great personalities such as Dadichi and Shibi, these are personalities in the Bhagavatam who gave their life for a higher cause, have sacrificed their lives for the welfare of others, even if it means losing everything. Fulfilling the desires of great liberated personalities who have realized the absolute truth bestows auspiciousness. Therefore I will surely fulfill the wish of this brahmachari. He realized a higher teaching than his guru. The higher teaching isn't to preserve one's own life, it's to fulfill the desires of great liberated personalities. If someone is a great liberated saintly personality, and you know for sure without 100%, without any doubt that this is of a topmost personality, like anyone who saw Vamandev, when they saw him, it's just everybody could see this is an amazing personality. And the perfection of life, and when you find a great saintly personality, the perfection of life is pleasing that personality. There's nothing higher than that, actually. There's nothing higher than that. But Shukracharya couldn't see that. He also saw Vishnu, but then he was thinking, this guy is going to take away all of our stuff. All of our stuff he's going to take away. Why? It's Jesus' teaching. You can either serve God or you can serve Mammon, which buys stuff. So when you see, all my stuff, you may, I may, we all may be called that one day we have to choose between all of our worldly wealth, all that we've acquired in this world, and the desires of a great saintly personality, like Vamandev. And if we choose preservation of wealth or preservation of material things, we will miss out. The real essence of life is pleasing great saintly personalities. If you can do this, your life is perfect. Bali Maharaj, he did it. He chose to please Vaman over even his guru. Over even his guru. And the guru is supposed to be like the number one, practically the God, the one who connects you to God. But if the guru ever asks you to do something against service to God, and you know for sure this is the conclusion, you also must reject the guru. You must. So this is the caveat for being a guru, that you don't ask someone to do something against Vishnu, unless you're actually proper to be rejected. So we'll see. When Shukracharya saw that his disciple was disloyal and was disobeying his command, prompted by divine inspiration, he cursed King Bali. Although he did not deserve to be cursed for being magnanimous and true to his promise, Shukracharya said, "Fool, you are ignorant, yet you consider yourself to be highly learned. By disregarding me, you have shown pride. You have transgressed my order. Therefore, you will soon lose your wealth and prosperity." King Bali was a great soul. Even on being cursed by his guru, he did not deviate from truth. He worshipped Vaman Bhagavan in the prescribed manner, and King Bali pledged to offer 3 steps of land, holding water in his hands as per the ritual. And as soon as he made the vow, the demigods began to shower flowers from the sky upon King Bali. At that moment, the unlimited Supreme Lord, in whom all material things exist, began to expand the size of his Vaman form. He went from his beautiful little dwarf form to growing infinitely, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And he took one footstep and he covered all of the heavenly planets, from the earth all the way up to the top of the heavenly planets. And even when he did that, his toe punctured the material covering of the universe. And this is from which the Ganga fell. The Ganga is coming from the spiritual world, from a puncture from this pastime. He punctured the covering of the universe with his toe upon stepping and covering all of the heavenly planets. With his second step, he reached down and covered all of the lower planetary systems into the bottom of the universe. And then he chastised Bali. And this is what he said. So the demons actually, before that, they wanted to protect Bali and his wealth. So they tried to attack Vaman. And then all the guardians of Vishnu came and started slaying all the demons. And then, and also Garuda, the king of the birds, he took the ropes of Varuna and he bound Bali like an animal. Very much disrespect. Bali is being so humble, he's trying to give everything. And it looks like he keeps getting mistreated. But you see, even in the midst of mistreatment, a devotee and a humble devotee always he accepts and he feels, I deserve this. I deserve this thing. A lot of times we get very offended. Why did Krishna do this? Or why is this me? This doesn't deserve to happen to me. We become very arrogant, not understanding everything is the Lord's arrangement. And a devotee, they humbly accept every circumstance of life. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, based on the story, Bali Maharaj was not so ambitious, nor was he arrogant, nor was he super greedy or selfish. In spite of it, why was he treated this way?
You'll see at the end of the story. So, but the essence is this: the devotee always exemplifies. So, by him being exemplary in all these manners, he will actually be glorified. We're still glorifying Bali now today, many millions of years later from this pastime. We're still glorifying Bali. So if he didn't get treated this way, and there wouldn't be so much to glorify. So like Prahlad Maharaj, they just made a movie about Prahlad Maharaj, and he got treated very poorly too. So the devotees of Vishnu, they lead everyone else and they show exemplary behavior for everybody, and in that they eventually become glorified. The Lord is interested in glorifying the devotee, but before he does that, he'll test the devotee. He'll test the devotee so many times before he's ready to release the devotional glory upon the devotee. So, Bali Maharaj is being tested here. All these things, it seems more disrespect now is coming. Why is the Lord doing this? Actually, it'll say in this next paragraph. Lord Vamandev told Bali, "You promised me 3 steps of land. With 2 steps I have occupied the 3 worlds. Now fulfill promise for my 3rd step. Everything you owned is already mine. Nevertheless, since your promise is unfulfilled, you will have to reside in hell. In this regard, your guru is in agreement." So his guru cursed him to go to hell and lose everything. And now Vaman's agreeing. "Go now, enter the hellish planets. For one who first promises to give charity and then deceiving the petitioner goes back on his word, all his desires become futile. In this regard, this is actually the thing. If you promise someone something and you don't fulfill your promise, hell is said to be the destination for such a person, actually. So we should actually be very eager to fulfill our promises to others. But Bali, he tried to fulfill his promise. Why is, like Lalita said, why is the Lord treating him this way? This is all for the lila, to glorify Bali even more and more and more, and to show a devotee's humility. He says, in this regard, you are excessively egotistical, thinking, I am an immensely wealthy man. You promise me I will give and then deceive me. Now you will suffer the consequences of this lie in the hellish planets for some years. So like this. Bali, he tried to give him everything. He said, anything you desire, I'll give you. But he wasn't able to fulfill his desire, and now Vaman is chastising him. But Bali, it says, from an ordinary perspective, it might seem that Vaman was cruel to King Bali. Why would the Lord do this? However, King Bali's heart was unwavering. He was determined to please Lord Vishnu by his body, mind, and words. King Bali said to Vaman, do you consider my words to be untrue? That is not the case. I will prove them true. You will not remain deceived. Kindly place your third step upon my head. I have no fear of going to hell or losing the kingdom. The punishment or discipline enforced by revered guardians, our gurus, is extremely desirable for all beings because such discipline cannot be given by mothers, fathers, brothers, or friends due to their attachment arising from material bewilderment. This is the importance of having guru. You'll never be held accountable by your relatives. You'll never be held accountable fully by your wife. You'll never be held accountable by your mother, your father, your brothers. You must have a guru. Only the guru can see you from that unbiased standpoint where they can actually tell you when you go off. So it's very important to have a guru. So Bali is saying punishment from the guru, chastisement from the guru, or even cursing from the guru, this is perfect. This is the perfect thing. This brings all auspiciousness. You certainly teach the best lessons to us demons in a hidden way. Therefore you are our highest guru. When we become blind, being intoxicated by our wealth, aristocratic birth, strength, and so on, you take all these things away and give us eyes. O Lord, my grandfather, Sri Prahlad is famous throughout the universe. He is the best among your devotees. Sri Prahlad's father, Hiranyakashipu, was always antagonistic to you, gave him considerable distress. However, Prahlad always remained devoted to you. He dedicated his whole life to you. What is the use of this material body, which must be abandoned one day or another? And what benefit is derived from all those bandits who have taken the form of family members to steal one's wealth? So it's kind of a rough thing to call the family members. But, because actually this is what we get so caught up in relatives, but actually we all have a material relationship with one another, all our relatives. And our children they're only interested in taking from the mother and father. The wife also only interested in taking from the husband. The husband also only interested in taking from the wife, actually. But only the Lord, this is our real well-wisher. Only the Lord. At the end of the day, only the Lord has no material motivation with us. At the end of the day, it's only the Lord and the Lord's perfect representative. If we are worthy of such a representative to come to us. Bali thought Shukracharya was the perfect representative of the Lord, but then it shone when circumstance came to it, shone he wasn't quite there yet, actually. So we have to be very careful also in accepting Guru. We should very stringently test the Guru. We should very stringently understand every single qualification. Does the Guru, is he actually pure? Maybe the Guru is there to help us for some portion of our life. Maybe he's the perfect person for that portion of life. But then we might get to a higher teaching in our devotion to the Lord, and that Guru actually, he'll also fail the test of Guru. It's possible. Only the purest of the pure can actually exemplify that. Is there any? No? Okay. So Shukracharya also, he didn't quite, he was a great Guru up until a certain level, and then when it came to risk every material thing versus the request of Vishnu, he failed the test of Guru, actually. So this may be tested at some point. All of us, we may face this test at some point. These pastimes are here for a reason. We may face this test at some point. We may think we're perfectly situated. I have perfect Guru. I have perfect wealth. I have perfect thing. But the Lord may sneak in a very unsuspecting form, like little Vamandev. And next thing you know, everything's put on the line, and you have to make some really interesting decisions, like Bali Maharaj did. But you'll see what happens for Bali. In the eyes of the world, you are my adversary. Nevertheless, providence has forcibly separated me from my material opulence and fortune and brought me to your lotus feet. Material wealth makes the soul's intellect become dull. Then he cannot realize, my life is in the claws of death. It is impermanent. This is the real situation. We're always at risk of death. Death can come at any moment to all of us. We have no security in this world. No matter how much wealth we built, no matter what material circumstance we have no real security. It can come like any of the COVID pandemic. So many people lost their life very quickly. Whether it was man-made or not, it doesn't matter. Like this. So we're all in the claws of death. And wealth intoxicates us and it makes our intellect dull to that. We forget. It could all end. And if we knew today was our last day, we would act completely different. Right? If we knew today was our last day, we would act completely different. We wouldn't be so stingy. We wouldn't be like this. We wouldn't be crunching numbers and this, that, and the other thing. But, very, very difficult to have these realizations. Very difficult to exhibit what Bali Maharaj. Even for Bali, he was unable until he was put through all of these trials. And then in the trials, now he's reaching the next levels of devotion, the next levels of surrender. As King Bali was speaking in this way, the recipient of Bhagavan's love, Sri Prahlada, arrived there. So now his grandfather has arrived there, the great devotee Sri Prahlada. So Sri Prahlada bowed his head. Lord, it was you who bestowed wealth upon Bali, and today you have taken it away. I understand that you have shown him immense mercy by separating him from the captivating worldly riches that bewilder the soul. Even learned persons become ensnared by the allure of wealth. In such circumstances, who can properly understand their real spiritual nature? So it was a great blessing for Bali to lose all his wealth so he could actually realize his real relationship as a menial, humble, nothing servant before the Lord. So if you lose all your material prosperity, that's why one of the names for Hari means he who takes away. We worship Lord. Yes, Krishna will bless you, bless you, bless you. He may bless you by taking everything away. This is also a blessing from Krishna. He may take away health. He may take away wealth. He may take away job. He may take away relationships. He may take away this, that, and the other. Why? He's trying to bless you. Everything the Lord does is perfect. If you know this, you're perfectly situated. If you don't know this, He'll have to take more stuff away until you realize. And then you'll see what happens. When you're willing to surrender everything, He will give it back. He'll give it back when you're properly situated and not to abuse it and use everything for the Lord's service. Then He can give you everything. So, that's what He does. Upon seeing Bali bound by the ropes of Varuna, his saintly wife Indyavali became fearful. So Bali's wife, she bowed at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, and she addressed him, O Prabhu, you have created this entire universe for your play. Those who possess wicked intelligence consider themselves to be the masters of this world. So if you think you're the master of anything in this world, even your own family, or the master of an ashram, or the master of your business, or this, that, and the other thing, this is actually the wicked intelligence. We're not properly situated. We're not the master. Actually, we're always the servant. So Lord Brahma said, O Master, giving up all miserliness, those who sincerely worship your lotus feet attain the highest destination. This Bali joyfully offered the three worlds to you with patience and fortitude. Then how can he be put into distress? What Lalita asked, even Brahma is asking. It's a good question. How could he do this? So even Brahma is asking. Lord Vamandev replied, Brahmaji, when I bestow mercy upon someone, I take away their wealth. You hear that? When the Lord, He bestows mercy upon you, He'll take away your wealth. If you have not had your wealth taken away by the Lord yet, then He has not given mercy to you. So if you're getting your wealth taken from the Lord, good for you, but you're getting the mercy of the Lord. For when a person becomes intoxicated with wealth, they begin to disrespect me and show contempt for other people, to think less of other people. When one gets higher in wealth and prestige and power, you might, start thinking less of others. And you might, inappropriately treat them. Well, it's not, you almost certainly will. So, the soul wanders through many births under the control of his karma. Then sometimes by my great compassion the soul attains a human body. If after being born as a human he does not become proud,
due to his high birth, achievement, status, beauty, education, wealth, and other factors, then it should be understood to be as my great mercy. That's why Lord Chaitanya prays for us. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. The only way you'll really be able to take this process and only glorify the Lord, always doing kirtan of the Lord, is you must become more humble than the grass, more tolerant than a tree. Imagine how tolerant a tree is. Anyone chops it down, grass, everyone steps on grass, no protest, just how humble you have to be, like Bali in this situation. Amanina, having no pride at all, not thinking one great in any aspect of life. Manadena, knowing how to respect all others, everyone, knowing how to respect everyone. That person only, Kirtaniya Sadahari, can always glorify the Lord, always be situated on the Lord.
But it's so difficult to do that in this generation.
Yes, and not just in this generation, very difficult. This is why we keep getting wrapped up in this world. But when you hear the pastimes of the Lord, you'll get shaken free of these illusions that you've been living in. When you hear the kirtan, the sukirtan of the Lord, you'll become free of this. This is why we say, please come here. Hear Bhagavatam. Chant the holy names with us. Do this process. I'm seeing in every one of you, just by hearing this pastime, I'm seeing everyone's heart transforming. Everyone in the room. It's rare actually that, because a lot of times, sometimes some people, they haven't built the sukriti yet where they can actually even hear. But everyone is actually now paying attention, and I'm seeing everyone is reflecting on their life. And then all the times they chased wealth and this thing, that thing, the other, showed contempt for others and this and that. And I'm seeing every single person, including myself, probably the most, having to speak this. I'm reflecting on all the nonsense that I'm doing and done. So, these things, these worldly opulences, they intoxicate us. But if you don't get attached to these things, or if you don't become proud of these things, you should be understood you have the Lord's great mercy. If you're proud of any of these things, you have not yet received the Lord's mercy. And if you want to, you approach humbly someone who is not proud of these things, who is sincerely humble, a truly humble person. And you may not even be able to recognize such a person, how rare they are. A Vaishnava can't be understood by the general public actually, because they're so humble and it's so unassuming. Just like Vaman couldn't be understood. This little boy, this little Brahmin boy, how could he have everything? The Vaishnava is also like this. He's so humble, he's so sweet, and he's so childlike. How could he be the perfected being? But only when somehow or other you receive the Lord's mercy, you may actually be able to recognize a Vaishnava. You may actually. So, let's hope one day the Lord allows us to recognize His representative, or recognize Him, even when He's in this small, beautiful little form. Not realizing, this person has everything. To prove this, I gave royal opulence to devotees such as Dhruva. Attributes such as aristocratic birth give rise to the vanity and intellectual inertia by which a human being becomes bereft of all means of auspiciousness. So if you have all material fortune in this world, aristocracy, you actually will become bereft of all means of auspiciousness. However, those who seek shelter in me are not bewildered by them. This Bali is preeminent among both the Danava and Daitya dynasties, and he is increasing their fame. He has achieved victory over Maya, the illusory material energy, which is extremely difficult to conquer. His wealth was taken away. He was deposed from the royal throne. He was subjected to various accusations, bound by enemies, and abandoned by friends and relatives. He had to endure many hardships. He was even cursed by his guru. However, he was determined not to break his commitment. I gave instruction on religious principles dharma with pretension. Yet, he's saying, I even came to cheat him. Yet this honest person did not forsake his religious principles. So under all circumstances, he honored his commitments. He honored his word. Such a high thing is the word. They say, a Brahmin, we're called to be Brahmins in this age. Even, in our tradition, we take what's called Brahman Diksha. We take the formal Diksha is to be elevated to the stage of Brahmin. A Brahmin is supposed to always be honest,
supposed to always be one with their word. A Brahmin is supposed to. It's very difficult in this age. It's so difficult to always be honest. It's so difficult. But actually, the more that you actually become an honest person, the more your words will always hold value. And if you the Pandavas were like this. They never wanted to break their promise. No matter what, if they made a promise, I'm going to fulfill this promise. And they fought like anything. This is actually what makes one qualified to be a Brahmin, whether you always fulfill your word, actually. And this is why a Brahmin's words never proved untrue. And why Krishna actually, if you start, you'll see this, when you become more honest in your life, and you start honoring your promises and living by your words and being truthful and this, that, and the other, you'll see that Krishna will conspire with you not to break your words, not to break your promises. He'll conspire everything around you, even if someone asks you for something and you say, yes, I promise I'll do it. It seems impossible. How am I going to do this? Krishna will arrange, because he doesn't want you to break your promise. He'll arrange that you can. And even Bali, Krishna arranged. It seemed like it would make it impossible. And he said, just take my head as the third step. This is all I have left. Please take this. And this is his glory, actually. He did anything to preserve his promise. This is another very high religious principle. Always try to preserve your promise. Always, 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 always try to preserve your promise. So the main teaching in Bali's character and conduct is unconditional surrender, sharanagati. Without hesitation, one must surrender oneself fully at the lotus feet of the Lord. It's called Atmanivedana. Bali shows us that even if the Lord were to become deceitful and cheat us, that the Lord is allowed to do that. It's in his prerogative. We shouldn't become deceitful and cheat others, but the Lord, if he wants to cheat us, it's for our benefit. Even if the Lord becomes deceitful and cheat us, we should still offer ourselves selflessly at his lotus feet. If from an ordinary perspective, Bhagavan puts us through various hardships, if he takes away all our material wealth and honor, binds us, or even if he crosses the last limit of cruelty by taking away everything, still without even being slightly unsettled, we should completely offer ourselves in his loving service. A conventional family guru who is indifferent to Sri Krishna may be expert in the performance of Vedic rituals and learned in worldly ethics. He may make obstacles to completely offering everything to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Moreover, he may pronounce a curse. May you lose all worldly possessions. Even then, pure devotees will remain unwavering and offer their souls exclusively at the lotus feet of Sri Vishnu. If a guru does not offer all of his disciples into the service of Sri Vishnu, who is the only enjoyer, then he does not deserve to be called a guru. Even if one has accepted such a family guru, one should reject his ill advice and serve a genuine guru, who teaches complete surrender and dedication to the service of Sri Vishnu. The ultimate auspiciousness is only attained when Sri Vishnu assimilates the surrendered soul into his divine realm. It is the intrinsic nature of pure consciousness to be a sacrificial offering, or bali. Bali means an offering. To be a sacrificial offering at the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan. This is why he's called Bali Maharaj, because he's exemplified becoming an offering unto the Lord. And that's what we are to also become like Bali, to become an offering to the Lord. That everything, all of our wealth, this, that, and the other, is offered to please the Lord. The Lord ends up taking his foot, pressing it on Bali's head, and kicking him all the way down into the Patala region. But he gave Bali immense wealth, but he gave him the greatest wealth. I will live there as the gatekeeper. I will live there as the gatekeeper to your palace, and you will always be able to associate with me. So all of the wealth that Bali had, he still gave him back all his wealth, and he gave him even greater opulence than he had before. Yes, he's ruling over the hellish regions now. Still. And in the next region, he actually is going to take birth as an Indra. He'll be an Indra in the next birth. But even still, he has the Lord as his gatekeeper. He has personal association with the Lord. And in that, there's no greater gift than that. And this is the great glory of Bali. There's no greater gift than the association of great saintly personalities. So if you somehow or other have this opportunity to have great saintly personalities in your association, you should take it, and you can become one of their, someone who pleases them. This is the ultimate gift. In Bali, this was his ultimate gift. He had the Lord personally.
So you can measure your real wealth by the association of saints you have in your life. Do I have the association of saints? Do I know any saints? Do any saints know of me? Do any saints request me for service? If no, you haven't gotten real pleasure. You haven't gotten the real mercy of the Lord yet. You haven't gotten real wealth yet. We invite saints here. We ourselves, we're humbly trying to be more saintly. Please come and assist us. And in worshiping of the Lord, bringing more saintly people here. We need more people here. We cannot do it alone. We have people here supporting this project. There's so many things to make this happen. Bills to be paid, this, that, and the other. And there's so many people. But even if we just brought more and more people in the community, we could very easily sustain this together. It wouldn't be such a challenge. But the thing is that we haven't all taken responsibility yet. We all have a responsibility to try and please these saints who have brought this. And all they want is to share the mercy of the Lord all over the world. And that's all we want here. So please help us. Please help us. Bring your friends. Come yourself. Serve in whatever small capacity that you can. Everyone has some capacity, something. Bali offered his whole life. He offered all of the universal wealth to the Lord. And the Lord still even wanted more than that. But give everything that you can, and start small. Maybe you can, I can give, $5 or something. Not even money. I can give my time. I can do some service. I can come help clean the temple. I can help come cook for the programs. I can give this, that, and the other thing. Whatever you can give to service to the Lord, this is perfection. This is real wealth. So please, take real wealth and stop chasing the not so real wealth. It never will be good enough. Like Elon Musk. You'll always have more and more dreams, and you'll never be able to catch them all. This, it'll get sweeter and sweeter and perfect, more perfect and more perfect. I saw, this weekend we went to a kirtan festival. And I was telling, Madhav said, Ram, you should lead a kirtan. And I was like, these kirtaniyas are way more advanced than I am. I said, I would love to lead a kirtan. I would pray to Radharani to lead a kirtan here, because it would be so nice with all these amazing, instrumentalists and singers. It would be such an enlivening kirtan. I would be so happy. But I don't expect to. I can't just get up there and demand to lead a kirtan. I would have to be asked. And so anyway, it's very interesting. The whole weekend went by, and all the festivals almost done. And then somehow the last kirtan, then they asked me to lead a kirtan. And I said, okay. And so I got to lead the kirtan, and I got to include everyone. Madhav and everyone was in the kirtan, and some other nice singers. And it was like one of my favorite kirtans I ever got to lead in my whole life. It was such a sweet kirtan. But no, unless you've led a kirtan before, you might not even know what the actual glories in being able to offer a kirtan. And, and even myself, even to offer such a nice kirtan with so many sincere devotees playing instruments and singing and so many people coming together, it was so nice. I've never even known kirtans can be so nice that before. But this is just one small example of when your service to the Lord gets recognized by the Lord and He calls you for service. It gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and you'll know pleasure that you never knew before, and it'll get better and better and better and better. But these things, money and this and that, it'll come and go. It's called chewing the chewed. You've gotten all these things in past lives before. You've all been the Elon Musks of past lives. You've all been greatly rich and this, that, and the other. You've enjoyed every type of material thing in this world. There's nothing new under the sun in this world. But devotion to the Lord, it's extremely rare. And only somebody who has gotten the Lord's full mercy. And actually, you've never gotten it yet. You know how I know? Because, yes, you only take birth in the next life based on the devotional merit you've achieved in the last life. So if you have yet to experience a deep devotion to the Lord, then you've never yet experienced it. Because this is the only thing. Yes, your karma dictates what type of family, what type of wealth, what type of this, but only, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you come back to finish where you left off in your devotional journey. And whatever you do in this life, the whole life,
you will come back exactly where you left off. Maybe you only came one time to a program to hear about the Lord in your whole life. So then in the next life, you'll also maybe have a life where you approach and only come one time, or maybe you come 2 times. Maybe in this life you decided, I'm going to take it more seriously. Maybe in this life you're not going to really take it seriously. I'm going to devote a lot of my life to this. But until we reach complete surrender and offer everything unto the Lord, we won't achieve the perfection that Bali achieved by having the Lord as a personal companion, a personal confidant, a personal relationship. And this is real wealth. And you can only get this by surrender to the Lord deeply. You can't buy this. You can do nothing, no material qualification other than your heart, other than how much from the heart you can surrender to the Lord. All of the things you cherish in this life, how much are you willing to give up for the Lord? So when you all tell me, Prabhuji, I have so many things to do, I have so many things to do, I say yes. Okay. But when will you give some of these things up and come and practice devotion to the Lord? When will these things not be the priority? And when will the actual devotion to the Lord be the full priority? Maybe it's not in this lifetime. There's no promise. But everyone has the opportunity. Everyone has the opportunity. So who will take the opportunity? The more you give to the Lord, He will not forsake you, I promise. I've told many stories before. How, anyway. It's already 8 o'clock, we must end. So, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki! Srila Vamandev ki! Vaman Dwadashi Mahamahotsava ki! Parshva Akadashi Devi ki! Jai. So thank you all for this, allowing me to narrate this pastime. Myself, I need to hear this just as much as everyone else, if not more than everyone else. So this was every year on my birthday, I get to realize, yes, you must surrender all of your wealth for Krishna. So every year on my birthday, I have to have this realization and then tell the people this. So maybe one day I'll actually get it. So Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Yes, I wish we had time for chanting, but the whole pastime, it took so long. So please.